Welcome to 5 at 5, probably the smuggest edition yet this season. You know the drill. If your team is top of the league, hit that like button somewhere around there if I've got my hands right and all that stuff. Anyway, let's get into my 5 at 5. Number one, I want to talk about Arsenal's away form. Listen, Arsenal are having an incredible season, but I just want you to look at this away league table only. We are absolutely smashing it away from home. We are 8 points better off than the next best team, the second place team in the away league table. 8 points. Unbelievable. 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. A total of 25 points away from home. And in that, we've scored 20 goals and conceded only 6. In fact, we've conceded more goals at home than we have in our games away from home, and that's with less games at home. It's unbelievable. 7 clean sheets kept out of our 10 away games in the Premier League this season. Do you remember the days where we used to talk about being desperate to have some some game management, being able to go away from home to the big teams and be able to keep our heads? Well, we are that team now. Obviously, our only defeat in the Premier League this season came away from home at Man United, which in that game, Arteta got a bit of fair criticism for overcommitting and getting it slightly wrong. I think he made 3 subs in 1 go in that game as well. Now, we have a chance to get revenge in the upcoming game against Man United. But what's important for me is that we seem to have really clearly learned from that game. Mikel Arteta, in a very short space of time, is learning his lessons and applying them real quick. Away form, on point. Number 2, Thomas Partey's performance. In that first half, I was watching him and I thought, my God, he has been absolutely faultless. Second half as well, brilliant, but especially the first half, he really impressed me. In the entire game, 8 recoveries, 2 blocks, 1 unbelievable shot that absolutely smashed off the post. And what a goal that would have been if it went in. And on top of that, in his passing, 92% pass accuracy, 80% long ball accuracy. In terms of the duels, 100% aerial duels won, 80% ground duels won. He was brilliant. And also, when you look at his involvement for Ødegaard's goal, absolutely perfect. Hugo Lloris kicks it up long. And when Arsenal win that header, it's all about the second ball. Thomas Partey is there. He's facing the ball. He's ready and poised to collect that second ball. As soon as he gets it, he gets pressure from Tottenham players, but knows exactly what he wants to do. He's obviously scanned the pitch, plays the ball out to Saka, who carries it and gives it to Ødegaard. Without Thomas Partey doing the very simple looking things in that moment, nothing else happens. If he's not ready and waiting and well positioned and aware, that becomes a contested second ball, and we never ever turn that goal kick into a promising attack. So do you know what? Thomas Partey, I have to hand it to you. Unbelievable performance. And there's a lot of talk this season about who's been the best central defensive midfielder in the league. As far as I'm concerned, it comes down to Thomas Partey or Casemiro. I think Casemiro has really surprised me in terms of how well he's adapted to the league. And this weekend is the shootout. Arsenal-Man United is the shootout. But tell me this, put it in the comments below. Who do you think deserves to be in the team of the year in that central defensive midfield position so far, almost at the halfway point of the league? Thomas Partey, Casemiro, or someone else? Put it in the comments below. Number 3, the Bookies Favourites. It's the first time this season Arsenal can say that they are now the Bookies Favourites to win the league. That's absolutely crazy. It's been a long time since we were favourites to win the league. It's been even longer since we were 8 points clear. And do you know what? I always say this, right? If you're looking to have a prediction about a game or whatever it might be, something football related, it's always interesting when you go and check what the bookmakers have got to say. Because not that I condone betting, and really I think there needs to be a massive conversation about the place that betting has in the game. But what I think it tells you is that we do things out of emotion. We make predictions out of emotion, out of perhaps what we want to see, not what we think we're going to see. But the bookmakers can't afford to do that. They have to be right. Otherwise, they lose money. This is their business. They have to make decisions very objectively, and they've got all the best algorithms, all the best prediction tools to make sure they get it bang on. And that's why you see all of the bookmakers generally on sort of the same page. You don't get bookmakers saying, oh, we think Liverpool are going to win today, another bookmaker saying, oh, we think the Liverpool will lose today, for example. So the fact that the bookmakers have said Arsenal are now the favourites is actually a bit of line in the sand moment. And it'll be very interesting to see how Arsenal deal with that pressure. Whatever the odds are right now and whatever they're saying right now, by the end of the week, it will be even more telling because Man United have got to play Palace away and Man City have got to play Tottenham at home before Arsenal play Man United at the Emirates. So by Sunday evening, there will be a lot more that we know about who's likely to do what in the league this year. But what I want you to tell me is that right now, 8 points clear. Do you see Arsenal as favourites? Do you think right now we are the true favourites to win the league? Or do you think it's someone else? Do you think it's Man City? Or do you think even Man United, based on current form, are now real contenders for the title? Would anyone put them as favourites? Let me know in the comments below. And number 4, the moment of madness. Now have a watch of this video. You see here Richarlison acting like an absolute idiot, constantly getting in Ramsdale's face. And do you know what? Aaron Ramsdale deserves an unbelievable amount of credit for not giving in to the provocation here, because Richarlison is bang out of order. I don't know what Richarlison has taken exception to, but you can't be going into someone's face and doing what he's doing. So Aaron Ramsdale has absolutely kept his calm. He's dealt with it really, really well like a true professional. And to make it even worse then, he gets more provocation when a stupid Spurs supporter stands on the advertising hoarding and actually kicks Aaron Ramsdale. That's absolutely unacceptable. And Arsenal this season, we've had 2 FA charges in 6 days for failing to control our players in an orderly fashion in the 95th minute against Newcastle and the 34th minute against Oxford. The FA have obviously decided to throw the book at Arsenal, and now I want to see what they're going to do to Tottenham, what they're going to do to Richarlison, what they're going to do about that fan. That's absolutely unacceptable, and it's a matter of time. If fans don't see strong action when they invade the pitch, it's a matter of time until a player actually gets hurt. That kick could have been a hell of a lot worse, so the FA need better take serious action against Tottenham for failing to control their fans and their players for what we saw in that video. Number 5, the Mudryk Meltdown. Frankly, do you know what? It was embarrassing. Arsenal have been playing so well this season. And I mentioned this in my fan cam after the Tottenham game. The one reason why we've been playing so unbelievably well this season and not in the previous seasons under Mikel Arteta is because he has shaped this squad to give himself harmony. You can see there's no massive egos in the team. There's not even really one massive superstar. There's no one in our team that's really going to be challenging Mbappe or Haaland to be on the cover of FIFA, for example. Is actually a team of really good, hardworking, what looks like nice, humble footballers who complement each other really, really well. Now, if we were to go and upset that dynamic by upsetting the wage structure, because no matter what you say, money matters. And when players feel like there's a wage structure that they're all being respected in, and then you get Mudryk coming in on £200,000 a week, who's achieved much less in the game than Bukayo Saka has, for example, you might say to yourself, well, these agents are going to be knocking on the door saying, hold on a second, why is my guy not the top earner at the club? Anyone should be looking at Bukayo Saka saying he deserves to be one of the top earners, if not the top earner at the club. Same with Martin Odegaard, doing brilliantly right now. So how can we go and just say to Chelsea, fine, you can decide our budget? The meltdown has been embarrassing, and I was disappointed to see the reaction because the actions and the strategy of Vinay, of Edu, of Mikel Arteta, Richard Garlick, all of these people, we're benefiting and enjoying the fruits of the labour of these guys. So how can we now go and criticise them and say you don't know what you're doing and also celebrate every single week when their decisions, look at the players that they have signed, their decisions are bearing so many fruits of their labour. So I think we need to be a bit more realistic there, a bit more forgiving and understanding and say fair play to those guys, you've earned a little bit of trust. But what I want to ask you now, clearly Arsenal have got over £60 million to spend. That's what we put on the table for Mudryk up front. So who would you like to see Arsenal buy this transfer window to really try and hammer home that league title and cement our position as favourites and hopefully go and win that title. Let me know who you want to buy. Trossard, Zaha, Tielemans, all Premier League proven players that are coming to the end of their contracts that could potentially be available if we wanted to try and force the issue, or do you have someone else in mind? Put it in the comments below. That's it from me. The 5 at 5 is done. A huge game coming up against Man United. So what I want you to do is put your predictions in the comments below for that game. And if someone gets a prediction right, you're going to have to drop me a message on my socials. Let me know you got it right and send me a screenshot of your prediction. And then I'll try and get you involved in the 5 at 5 so you can have your own segment for one of the points in the 5 at 5 after the Man United game. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and like this video. Arsenal are top of the league and I'm loving life.